This is a comparison between the English and Japanese versions of Chiaki, which is probably wholly mispronounced, first book. She actually has two books out in Japanese. This is the second one. That one is sort of roughly translates to The Longing of the Room. Haven't heard of an English version coming out yet, but I'm sure it will do. First book, the Japanese doesn't exactly translate, so it's sort of translated to sort of Longing of the Store, The Longing of the Town. So they've decided to give it a completely different title in the English version, which is My Colourful Town. Now, as you can see, there's quite a few differences between the English and Japanese version. The first being the size. The English version is about 2 centimeters shorter, all the way 2 centimeters smaller all the way round. It's similar thickness, although it's a bit hard to tell because that's got a flat spine and that's got a round spine. And let's have a look at the other differences. As you can, I'm not sure if you can tell, yes, you probably can tell from this video that the colours on the English version are a lot brighter than in the Japanese version. Japanese version also has quite a bit more writing. I'm not too sure what it says, where the English version's gone for quite simple My Colourful Town, a colouring tour. On the Japanese version, the cover is a very sort of matte cover. Parts that aren't coloured in, like this, would be very easy. You could colour these in with coloured pencils, no problem at all. But it does have some embossed bits, which you probably can't see on this video, but the little girl is embossed, the lamps are embossed, the large title there is embossed, and the ribbon at the top is embossed, so you wouldn't actually be able to colour on those, but it has a very nice feel to it. On the English version, the whole cover is a very, very smooth, glossy cover. You'd have real difficulty colouring on this, possibly some gel pens, but certainly not coloured pencils. They have actually still embossed the same parts of the pictures, the little girl, the lamps, the main title and the ribbon, but because the whole cover is so shiny you can barely feel any difference. It's only because I know to look for the embossed bits that I know that they're there, otherwise I probably wouldn't have noticed, to be honest. And going to the back cover, on the Japanese version they have a little space here which they've just put the barcode and the ISBN numbers in, and the rest is just made from the picture. On the English version they've decided to write a little bit about the book, take a charming stroll through picturesque streets and comforting locales in this delightful storybook to colour. There, my words are going there. And then they've put the barcode down here which actually covers part of the picture, so you miss out part of the picture there. Going to the front as well. Now on the English version it's just a normal cover, so it's just a normal cover. Japanese version, it's not actually a cover, it's, let me take that off there, it's a book jacket. So on the Japanese version you've got these two flaps, these doors, which you don't get these images at all in the English version. And the cover as well, you've got this sort of cardboard style cover, which is quite common in the Japanese books, and so you've got these images here which you could colour, and the same in the back. Yet again, you don't get those images in the English version. Just take this away, put the cover on, back on. Sorry, bear with me. And on the spine as well, you've actually got a tiny little image on the English version which you haven't got on the Japanese version. That's the difference there. Right, so going inside, got the same cover page, a bit more space around this one than the English one. And now inside here as well you've got all the instructions, but this time in English, so it's really nice to be able to read the English introduction and all the tips and tricks from the artist. Now let's get back on to comparison of the actual pictures. Right, okay. So, first thing I'm noticing here is the difference in the paper. I'm not too sure if this is going to show up in the video, but the English version has a slightly yellowy colour compared to the Japanese version. The type of paper itself is quite different as well. The Japanese version has a bit more of a tooth, it's a bit more of a matte feel. The English version is a lot more glossy, not much tooth there. I suppose sort of similar glossy like Morota's books, maybe Millie Morota's books. But personally I prefer the Japanese paper just because it's got a bit more tooth to it. Now, the English version's advantage because although it's quite stiff, you can really fold the pages down and get right into that centre spine, so you're not losing any images, although you will be breaking the spine slightly to do that. So once you use it a bit, you will see the spine's a bit broken. Japanese version is a lot harder to get to the centre, so you do lose a little bit of that image in the centre, as you can probably tell. Sort of put them side by side here, you can see that image there that's been lost in that spine, and you'd actually have to pull that spine apart to get to it. Now the actual image itself, as you can imagine, with it being 2 centimetres shorter all around, it has been scaled down. However, if you look along this side here, now if you look where the door is to that brick there you can see you've actually lost about 1/2 centimetre of the image all up that side. If you look at the bottom image as well, you've also lost, look how big that brick is to that big, you've also lost a little bit of the image there at the bottom. And if you look on the left of the book, if you see where that sort of column is, you can see you've also lost about 1/2 centimetre on that side as well. When we get to the top of the book is where it gets a bit weird. Now if you look here at this heart leaf here, the Japanese version, you're actually losing 1 millimetre or 2 of the image because of the height. However, if you come over to this side, take for example this leaf here, on the Japanese version you've got the full leaf, but on the English version you're actually missing a bit. So it's very bizarre the way they've done it, in that you've got slightly more of the image on this side, slightly less of the image on that side. And the line work, the actual colour of the ink, I would say, although it might look slightly different, it's actually the different colour in paper. I think the line work is pretty much the same ink wise. Now I'm just going to do a little flick through the English version until we get to some more differences. There we go. And this is, whether you choose the English or the Japanese version, a very beautiful book. Very sort of storybook type feel to it, and any fans of romantic country will really love these books, with whichever version you decide to get. You see she's going through the town, visiting all the shops. Shoe shop here. And clocks. And all the art shop. All the pens and pencils. The paper in both books is a good thickness, so I'd say you'd probably be able to use pens and pencils. Obviously, you're using something wet, you have to be very, very careful and use a very tiny amount of water, otherwise it will buckle. And now you get to the map at the back. Now this one they've actually scaled properly. Scaled that properly down. I'm sure you can see compared to the other one, so they don't lose any of the image. Now, what's also interesting that I've noticed, which I didn't actually notice on the Japanese version, is in this town, each little house, each little shop has got a little letter on the flag, and at the bottom here, probably not going to be able to see that in video, it labels each one, so beef, bakery, patisserie, tailor, etc. And it's actually there in the Japanese as well. I just didn't notice because I couldn't read it. Now, this is where we come to a big difference between the English and Japanese version. The English version now finishes here. You've just got the general book and the publishing information, a little bit about the author. And then you've got the cover, which is blank. Now, in the Japanese version, you've got the pic with all the, what I presume is the publishing, but you've also got an extra page. And this extra page, it's a thicker card. And you've got two beautiful little postcards and 3, 4, 6, 7 little gift tags, which you don't get in the English version at all. And they're really beautiful little postcards and gift tags. So I think it's a real shame that they haven't included that in the English version. And that's the end. I hope you've liked the review and it can help you make a decision on which book to get. I definitely recommend getting one of them. Thanks, bye.